All right, we are live. Hi, everyone.
How does this work?
We're just gonna say our names and how we're gonna talk about Black Panther instead of that show that we normally talk about on this thing. Anyways, hi, I'm the last big cat, also known as Cat or Big Cat. I just saw Black Panther a few hours ago. Hey.
What? I'm Lyra Verse. I saw it Thursday night, the preview.
Yeah, the premiere.
Yes, and it
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. Was everyone like super excited because it was the premiere? Just extra excited?
Yes, yes. There was a group that came in and gave out free popcorn, but this was after we bought our own popcorn, so we were kind of mad about it, but
Ugh. You should have just waited and gotten your own free popcorn.
yeah,
Got
but
got
everybody
it.
was so excited, and it was like so communal. We sat by strangers, but we talked to them like they were friends. Like
Oh,
everybody was just so excited.
that's awesome. Yeah, we had the plan ahead of time when we were going, so we had our tickets. My friend bought them on Fandango, and it's a good thing she did get those because I rolled up like 5 minutes before the show started, and there was a huge line at the box office. Like, damn, it's a really good thing that I already have these tickets.
Right? Are you going to see it again?
Yes,
No.
I already have plans to see it the first weekend in March, and then I might see it again before that, just by myself, or if someone else wants to go, they'll be like, "Hey, I'll go again." But yeah,
I'm I'm probably gonna go see it again tomorrow
hmm
and by there walking while she's watching it.
yeah. I was I was like almost gonna like buy tickets to go see it again for the other showing tonight, but I was like, oh right, I did say I was gonna do a podcast. Like, so here I am to talk about the movie instead of watching it again. So,
Yes.
but yeah, let's see. What was who were your favorite characters to start with?
Okoye, of course, and Shuri. I think those were my two main favorites.
Yes. I love them both too, but especially Shuri. She stole it for me. And I've loved like all the characters.
Right?
But yeah, I think the standouts besides just T'Challa in general because I've loved him since Civil War, and then also Killmonger.
Yeah. Killmonger was a great villain. About Shuri. So, does she create all the tech like without a team? Oh, I'm sure she has people that help her.
Yeah, I don't think the movie specifically addressed it. I know that there were a bunch of like extras in the
Mhm.
background, and she did mention a design team. She said like the design team for the necklaces. So I think she's a head, but she does have a team of other people that probably help and maybe do the actual some of the actual like engineering
Somebody
portion.
joins us.
Yeah, it's forever. Hey,
Yeah.
oh, here in chat with her mic muted.
uh,
She says, "Hey, friends."
hey,
Hey.
brother.
Oh, yeah, forever. So we were just going over who our favorite characters in the movie was. You can let us know, and then we'll let everyone else who's listening know your answer. But yeah, in the meantime, yeah. So yeah, yeah. I think Shuri does have she has a design team and other people who may actually like physically make the things that she designs or that they help with.
Mhm.
Is her lab was so cool. I love the design of it. And it was like built into the mine.
Yeah. Wh-
It actually took me to the last scene with the mine to figure out that that was the mine. For some reason, I thought it was like underwater.
Wait, which character do you think you would be? Like, which character do you think you're closest to?
Like in terms of personality.
Yes.
Um. Gosh, it's kind of
I
hard.
don't know why I asked this question. I'm thinking like who?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be a perfect imprint for any of them. I think I did maybe worryingly, and sometimes in my temper tantrums, get a little bit like Killmonger. As anyone who's seen me in the bunker when some shit goes down has seen, I really like. You're like, oh my god, I just want to burn the world down and just kill everybody. um,
Like all of the characters are too great. Like you're like, I'm nowhere near that. But let's see.
but I'm still not. I'm not nearly as smart or as skilled as Killmonger. Oh, I love that shit he pulled in the museum though. I was like, oh, this is like the villain shit I signed up for. That was so slick.
Every time like he was shown on screen, like there was like the camera would just go in slowly on his back. I loved it. I loved it. Okay, I don't know which character I would compare myself to. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they're all like really well drawn. Even if they only have a few scenes, you still get to see a lot of different angles from all the characters. And it really does feel like the movie was, originally 4 hours long, and there's a lot of other stuff we should have seen or could have seen for all the characters.
And it could have stayed 4 hours long, and I would have gladly stayed seated in my seat.
Yeah, serious. Been like, okay, so the first 2 hours, and then you can have an intermission, go get some not-free popcorn, and then run back, have a little potty break. Oh, and Forever says that Okoye was her my move, love. It was a typo. And she loved her passion for Wakanda. She was ready to kill her, air quotes, love for the sake of Wakanda.
Yeah, I love that.
And she's not sure if she's anybody from the movie, but she sees glimmers of herself in everybody. Yeah, and especially with that part with Okoye about to, I totally forget that dude's name, but to kill her boo for the good of Wakanda.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been in that situation in real life, but in video games where they give you those sorts of choices, I have taken the kill off my favorite character in order to save the world type of situations. I do that a lot, and I just hate myself for it. I don't know if I could do that in real life, but in the video game.
Because I'm thinking, like, what if it was like my sister?
I think that's like a different situation. No video games ever asked me to like kill my sibling before, or like my child. Oh no, you know what? The Last of Us has that kind of thing, and I was just totally like, no, fuck the world. So I think that's my heartbreak. Like little siblings and children, if they ask me to do that, then no, fuck the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a hard thing to have to do to kill someone you love for your country or something like that. It's kind of like the country's kind of an ideal in a way, or it's like not an ideal, but it's more what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like abstract in a way. Like it's a real thing, but also I don't know. I guess it isn't abstract because it's like if your country goes to shit, then it affects you really. But I guess no, maybe it's just like personal in a different way than a person is, and that's just like it's really hard to choose between like the life of a person you care about and your country.
You have a really good radio voice, Kat.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, it was like, oh yeah. And when she told him like without question, I'm like, I would not just because you're denying my wife, but because you're such a great person, I would follow you to the ends of the earth.
Yes. Everybody cheered in the theater when that happened.
Oh, serious, mine too. They clapped.
Yeah.
It was a
really great moment. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, like everyone stayed. There were only 2 moments in the movie where everyone really clapped. Like there was a lot of laughing and stuff, but in my theater, everyone clapped for that moment. And then the opening scene when Oakland, California came up, because we're in East Bay, we're literally just south of Oakland.
Yes.
like, or well, that my city is south of Oakland. Oakland's in East Bay too. And we were like, yeah! Oh, and I didn't shout "That's my wife" until the end credits, so I was really good.
I
Like
was
when
so
Denai
proud.
yes! Like, oh yeah! Oh, so amazing to see her. And I spent like every scene she was in. I was just like looking at every moment. I have to see it like multiple times because I would always like zero in on some part of Okoye.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't really pay as much attention to what was happening around her. I was like looking at the little details like on her head or like the like her boobs. Like, I need to go rewatch the movie again just so when okay is on screen, I'm actually paying attention.
So what do you think about the end decision to like let everybody in on Wakanda? Do you agree with it?
Yeah, that was something I was struggling with like the whole movie, and it was something that's like a hard question in real life too. I think I really liked that aspect that Killmonger introduced too,
Mm-hmm.
and that a lot of the different characters and like even Nakia too, about how Wakanda should react to kind of the outside world after having been isolationist the whole time. I think overall, I feel like T'Challa's decision to open up to the world and kind of help, like how he's starting the Wakandan outreach in Oakland, yeah, in Oakland, which they should have in real life. Just saying. I think I feel like that was the best decision,
Mhm.
but
Uh,
also it is like worrying as
yeah,
well.
I'm with. I feel like they shouldn't have made such a big like televised announcement about it. Like I feel like they should help people. Like they should open up to help people, but like do it a little more discreetly than what they've decided to do, which is like
Yeah,
just pretty much
yeah,
put it
yeah,
on blast.
yeah. That makes sense too. Like to do more subtly,
Mhm.
instead of being like, yeah, hey, vibranium. Or I totally did want after that whatever dude, the whatever representative was like, what does a nation of farmers have to offer? I just wanted T'Challa to be like bust out some like Black Panther moves, or I don't know, just have Shuri show off some technology or something. Like, yeah, this is what we knew. But yeah, I mean, maybe they will go for a more subtle approach because I guess we
Mhm.
didn't see exactly how they're going to openly like how they're going to do things in front of the whole world, because maybe they'll just have that like outreach, and everyone who comes in, they'll just do like, don't tell anyone what you saw here kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, they may do something like that.
Yeah, they might still be like on the slide, but they still wanted to announce to the world, hey, we're not gonna
Yeah.
we're not gonna be like away from everything, we're gonna actually like interact with the world. And I don't, so who knows what he had to say to that guy who was asking what can a nation of farmers do, because I guess he didn't have his I am Iron Man moment. He's gonna be more sly.
Ah, I'm just now seeing the chat
Yeah.
thing,
Oh,
chat
the
box.
bunker, or the chat box for
Yeah.
Hangouts. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone was a super great character.
Hey,
Yeah.
hello.
Oh,
Hey.
hey.
Yeah.
Hey, I can do for like 10 minutes on voice. My heart was beating so fast listening to you guys. So I was like, I have to get in here.
Yeah. It's an awesome combo. What did you think of the end scene and what T'Challa did? If that was the best decision or not?
I don't know if it was the best decision because I think, well, I said this in like the Black Panther forum, but I think they should have just like kind of remained in the shadows about it. You can still kind of be helpful without doing it
Yeah.
in such a great way. Like,
Yeah.
you know, with a secret identity. So
Yeah.
they should have like stuck to that because
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that Wakanda is something. It's complex. I think Wakanda is something that should be kind of kept secret a little bit.
Yeah. Instead of like rolling up to the world and being like, hey, we've got a mine full of vibranium. There's like a shit ton in here.
Yeah.
Because like, those kind of like open a target. And it's easier to help people if you don't have to also defend yourself from everybody and their mother trying to get your vibranium.
Yeah. But I was thinking like people would still catch wind that Wakanda was there. Like they would leave themselves open to possibly have to fight someone even bigger than like what's his name, Klaus.
Yeah.
And like in secret with nobody to help.
Yeah.
All right. I've thought of the character I think I would like if I could be that awesome. I feel like I would be closest to Nakia just because like she does what she wants, you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I could stick to the staunch rules of being a Dora Milaje and stuff like that. So yeah, Nakia.
And she does her spy stuff, which is awesome. and she has like her own weapons, like the little spinny discs, and it's good to see enough of the spinny discs.
Yeah.
Those are tight. Not quite as tight as kitten mittens, but it's hard to beat kitten mittens. Those were so cool. I was waiting for those like the whole movie. I was like, when does Shuri put on the kitten mittens? They were so cool. She was busting stuff in the cats that were on her hands. Totally gonna find those in a toy store and buy them and run around with them. Like, I'm an adult. I have kids. Yeah. What was like the standout scene for everybody, or a standout scene?
This is a hard question. I really love, like, this is more just a technical film work type thing, but I really love the shot, the camera work of when Killmonger was taking the throne, like the upside down, and then I loved that moment.
That was great. Yeah, that was a good shot. It puts you into the, like, it says a lot just with that shot, like what's happening to Wakanda.
Yeah.
You don't have to have any words because the visuals are kind of showing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was tight. Forever, what about you?
I really enjoyed like the ancestral realm scenes.
Oh yeah,
those are my favorites, and just like the juxtaposition between like Killmonger's and Black Panther. I really just, they're really just quiet moments. I love the colors. I know it's really, like, of course, people say it's like really similar to the Remember Who You Are. In Lion King.
Yeah, that sounds similar.
And it's just really calm scenes. I also liked the ending with Killmonger looking at the sunset.
Oh yeah, that was so great.
Oh, and one more. Also, when Okoye gets Wakabi to be like kneel.
Yes.
That's how it's
yeah.
Powerful.
Yes. Yeah, that was the whole theater claps worthy. Yeah. There were so many awesome moments. But yeah, I love the ancestral plane too as well, especially since I've been playing so much D&D lately. But yeah, and like the difference between how T'Challa saw like the grasslands of Wakanda, and then on the final time when he was quote unquote dying, he saw like all of the past kings. And then he saw like the tree with the Black Panthers, and I was like, oh, it's like a family tree, and then the Black Panthers are in the tree. I get it. Yeah, that was really cool. And then you can you contrast that with Killmonger, and you can only kind of see like the hazy sky through the windows, but he's seeing the the apartment he was in with his father. And then, yeah, just like the kind of the difference in feeling, like the grasslands felt like so open and like it was rich and full of this history that just goes on for generations. And then with Killmonger, it felt like it was just kind of small in this apartment. It was very intimate, but it just felt like it was cut off. So when they're talking about how they were lost or separate from the Wakandans, you really felt that because they didn't have the land itself. They just had, you know, some artifacts and things from Wakanda. And I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah. And even how he like woke up, T'Challa, when he woke up, he was all like smiling and happy, and when Killmonger woke up, he was just so agitated. And, like I don't know, I just like the difference between those and how they like visualize that.
Yeah. And then oh god, it killed me when he burned the flowers. Like, oh my god. Like that kills me so much on a personal level since I was a history major. So whenever people are just burning tradition stuff, I'm like, stop. And I'm not like a super traditionalist. Like we have to maintain traditions because tradition, but the history part of me is just like, why would you destroy it? Like you just like lock it up or something. We no longer go down here. Close off. Just don't destroy it. But at the same time, like you could like feel him burning it down. He was probably like, yes, tight. This is my life's work. Burn it down.
I'm really curious about that heart-shaped plant. Like we saw. So how long does it like last? Or, like,
what do you mean?
The plant that makes him Black Panther?
No, like how long does it last? Like after it's picked? Like because I saw Zuri, he was like, picking. He was
I think
picking
it lasts. Huh. I was thinking it lasted forever, but like that. Then why is it? I think it will last forever. I don't know.
Yeah. I think when you like drink it, if you don't take the undue stuff, it just lasts forever. But if you like pick a seed and you don't drink it, like how long does the seed stay active? You mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with actual plants, those seeds can survive all kinds of crazy conditions and like last for years and years. I think some seeds can even last in space or something. Maybe I made that up, but it's like some like insane stuff where they can survive just the most insane conditions and then still be viable. So I'm sure that, you know, the fantasy plant that gives you Black Panther powers can probably survive pretty long and then still be able to be planted.
Yeah. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I want to see them regrow that area.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually it's possible that burning the garden didn't actually destroy all the plants. That just, you know, maybe no one thought to burn the plants ever, so like why would we do that when we can get superpowers from them? Yeah. And let's see. There's so much to talk about the movie with. It's just like how about the action scenes? What was your favorite action scenes?
One of them was the casino scene, of course, with Okoye. The fight for the throne between Killmonger and T'Challa.
Yes. I was always so weird in those scenes. My favorite was the car chase scene because I loved Shuri and T'Challa's team up. That was so great to see, like them just like their sibling dynamics while they're fighting in the streets. It was fun to see the context for the car chase scenes from the trailer, because I didn't actually, for some reason, I didn't know that someone wasn't physically driving the car. I was like, oh.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go.
Oh,
Okay.
bye.
Where you going? Bye.
So it was cool to see like Shuri remote driving the car, and then T'Challa's on top of it. It was like, oh,
Yes.
that makes sense, because otherwise I was like, oh man, it's like some crazy, like he just like jumps on a random car and he's gonna jump to like another car. Like, oh no, he's just on this car.
Oh, sorry, I lost something. But oh, another good action scene was the Dora Milaje versus Killmonger.
Yes. And like all of them really took on a guy who was all Black Panthered out.
Right. Three of them got like just think if one of okay, never mind.
Oh, if one of them had the powers.
Yes.
Yes. They'd be unstoppable. Like, fuck tradition. Can you do like maybe we can do a campaign, we'll do like Okoye for Black Panther 2020.
I love that, like, there was so much respect between the king and his, like, he could pull rank at any moment, but like he didn't have an ego, like he didn't like feel less than like anybody else, you know, when they had to come help him or stuff like that, you know. I just loved like the shared respect between the army and the king. Like it was almost like they were equal, even though you know that the king outranks everybody. And I loved that. But he was also like a strong king, like, you know.
Yeah, and it was great how they showed like those a lot of those moments of like the physical vulnerability, like he's the king, but he's still, you know, a person. And then you would have characters in the movie question like, oh, is this your king, blah 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 blah. And then like with it was M'Baku, right? He managed to beat him, but at the same time I think it was like the movie showed that it wasn't just the physical prowess that makes for a great king kind of thing, and then how he can be vulnerable and not just, you know, I mean, superhuman. Like, he's superhuman, but not, you know, in the like perfect always wins every fight kind of way, and then still be, you know, a hero and a great king. So yeah, it was great how he didn't, you know, get all in his feelings of
in his feelings of I need to be stronger or stuff like that.
Yeah, like he had more important other things to deal with, like more interesting things. We've seen the superhero, I need to get stronger plot or whatever. Like Shaw's got better shit to worry about.
Right. He's like, I got my women. That's all I need. Like,
yeah, he's a king. He's got his team, his people, and he knows that, you know, that's what a good leader does. Has people that he can rely on. And I said this in the bunker before I saw the movie, but every time that line would come up in the trailer, the "You're a good man with a good heart, and it is hard for a good man to be king." That line just got me all emotional every single time. Just like, oh, that's something that's so cool and interesting about Black Panther is.
And it also that line also sort of plays along with what his dad did in the beginning of the movie, you know.
Yeah. So he's probably speaking from experience, like I could have been a good man or I could have been a king, and I chose to be a king.
Right.
Yeah. and then T'Challa's gonna try and be both, and like, oh, that's why it's harder.
Which, like the opening of the borders, like it's the good thing to do, but that's also going to make things more difficult. Like,
yeah, and it's kind of like if T'Chaka had taken a little Eric back to Wakanda, you kind of wonder what might have been different, or maybe he would have been like a Loki.
Maybe it would have been, yeah, like maybe it would have been the same, because he would have been like, "What did you do with my father?" Like,
yeah,
like evil.
Yeah, maybe he. Yeah, he would have been like, do you want to be raised by the man who killed your father? Like, or yeah, it could have been like a Loki and Thor situation. It'd be like T'Challa and then little cousin Eric who hates you secretly. Or when he finds out the truth about his parents, will hate you.
Yeah, could have gone bad either way.
Yeah. It was I think it was a really interesting conflict through the movie with the isolationism and protecting yourself and your traditions versus helping other people in the world. I think it's a struggle a lot of people can relate to in these trying times. Although not quite on the same scale as like Wakanda and literally being a king, but like, kind of in a small scale, like sticking to your people or your family or whatever and is yours that you're supposed to protect, and then helping other people or the world at large.
Yeah.
Or other people that you're connected to in other ways, just not in the like, oh, these are like, this is literally my family, and then these are people that I share commonality with. Or yeah. And hopefully Charles' decision works out in the long run. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. What do you think about would you like to see Storm ever come into the picture in the Black Panther movies, or just like leave that for the comics?
Yeah, I think I would like to see that happen. It just kind of I guess it'll depend on how X-Men eventually gets adapted into the cinematic universe. Because as like just a hypothetical, like hypothetically, in a world where anything could happen, I think that would be I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I guess we'd have to see how X-Men plays out in the Marvel cinematic universe.
We also need a good Storm.
Yeah,
we need a good actress for Storm.
And yeah. I think that would add like another interesting element to Black Panther, to have Storm integrated in there with all the Wakandanness and all, like, oh, tradition, oh, but who cares?
Forever is back. Hey, Forever.
Hi.
What happened?
I was supposed to watch a movie with my parents, but they're watching The Mist, and it's too scary.
Oh.
I don't want to watch it.
Tell them that your friend on the internet doesn't like the ending of The Mist.
Yeah, I don't either. So, I don't feel like going through that stress again.
So you're back here. So Lyra was asking what you would think about Storm being introduced to Black Panther.
I mean, I really like Nakia.
Yeah.
Are you talking about them becoming an item? Black Panther
Or
and Storm.
yeah, probably an item, or even in
I mean,
general. I
that'd be
think
cool
Yeah.
too.
the X-Men coming in and then Storm having any kind of dynamic. How might that be? But I mean,
Yeah,
most likely it would be the romance angle.
that would be interesting. Like I know that's like a big thing, like X-Men coming into like the MCU.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty cool way to introduce Storm into the world of Wakanda.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm down.
Yeah, and it is possible that they won't have Nakia go her comic route, and they'll have her and T'Challa really be endgame.
Mhm.
And I can see them doing that because she's played by Lupita.
Yeah.
So, and because in the movie there weren't really any like threads of future tension, so we'd have to wait for like Black Panther 2, or I guess Infinity Wars, to see if there's going to be any threads there that might lead to something bad.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess hypothetically, depending how things play out, I think Storm could be interesting,
Mhm.
but I won't personally be upset if that
Yeah.
particular element isn't
Yeah.
introduced.
Yeah, I think they should focus on like bringing them in as a unit to like the MCU rather than like, or maybe that's their plan, but
Yeah,
focus on like, I don't know, building X-Men as a part of their brand. Well, it's always, of course, it's been a part of their brand, but like cinematically doing
yeah.
that.
Incorporating them into the universe, and yeah, and getting X-Men in will be huge. And that's kind of like its own undertaking in itself. It's like having another Avengers. Like you're gonna have several movies to really explore each character again and really get them to feel like a part of the universe as individuals, and not just like, oh, those are the X-Men and they do stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like yeah, they would probably have to have at least a few X-Men movies to establish Storm and her dynamic within the X-Men and all the X-Men as characters and stuff before they would be able to, move them out and have them as intimately entangled as Storm would be with T'Challa.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, can I answer the fight?
Oh yeah,
I left.
absolutely.
I left. It's not a physical fight. Well, it's like more of like it's the one between Nakia and Okoye, like kind of fighting against like for the throne or for love. I love that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And also, what's the other one that I really liked? I liked the Killmonger versus Black Panther one because it was just so dirty. It's a dirty fight.
Yeah.
And I just it was really heartbreaking to see Black Panther like getting stabbed in his abdomen and thrown off of a cliff.
Yeah. Killed me. Like I knew he was gonna be like okay, and then he'd either come back to life or he would have been alive or something. But it's still like no.
Yeah, so it's like painful to watch.
Just like not yet. But yeah. Okoye and Nakia's argument or disagreement was that was a great scene in the movie. The kind of like the tension between loyalties, like loyalty, like the loyalty to just the throne and the traditions in general. Like this is how the king has been chosen, and I'm supposed to be loyal to the king, whoever he is, and then being loyal to like a person or relationship. I think she was more loyal to like him as a person, but she was, I think she phrased it like I loved him. So like the relationship, is she focusing on the relationship or on the person and the ideals? Like, so yeah, but it was interesting tension. Also, I ship Okoye and Nakia, even though they're talking about
same.
Those guys that they're
Wakabi can go die.
I was like, but I'm shipping this right now. I know you're talking about how you love other things and people, but we can love each other. Just waiting for Nakia to like drop the like, I love you, but I love Wakanda, the original. Or Okoye, we can't just stick to tradition because it's tradition. You know, the true Wakanda is led by T'Challa, and I love you. I'm gonna write my little Black Panther fanfic. Okay. Lyra, you're working on that fic, right?
I really am planning on like writing the Black Panther fanfic like soon. I hate that they cut out that scene where, because there was talk of a scene where Ao told Okoye she looked good, right? And like people saw it as a flirting scene. I hate that they cut that out.
I'm like
I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm like, this contributed greatly to the plot. Excuse you, put this back in.
Like once she dumps Wakabi, like maybe, you know.
Yeah. Like we can. I'm trying to think of what scene. Like if there's a timeline, like what other scenes they could cut. Like no, there's actually nothing they should cut. They just should have put that scene in. In fact, they should have put the whole 4 hours in. Like, what are you guys doing? When you see you have all of this great stuff you need to cut, that's when you say, I don't cut anything. I just put the full 4 hours in. There's Kill Your Darlings, and there's like, no, this movie needs to be 4 hours long.
I'm so excited to see the DVD with the deleted scenes. So excited.
I'm like, they really need to have a director's cut with that first 4 hour cut. Like, they need to. Yeah, there are definitely some parts where like this would have been much more impactful if those other 2 hours were here. Just saying, great movie, but it would have been way better with the 2 extra hours. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Like I think like the scenes with Okoye, and I keep forgetting her boyfriend's name, but that. Yeah, Wakabi. Maybe I forget it on purpose because he's not me. But I feel like that would have been more impactful if we had seen more of their relationship. Like the only scene to tip you off that they were together was like the one where she was calling him into T'Challa, and she called him, and she was like, my king and my love. Like, oh, they're together, and then they didn't really have much of a scene like that's just them or them interacting until she's like, yeah, I totally choose Wakanda over you, like no hesitation. I guess we should talk about the post-credit scene with Bucky. If you guys have anything to say on that.
I don't really have anything to say.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to say or what to make of it. I mean, I follow, the movies, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What to make of it.
Yeah, I'm not like that into. I tend to zone out Bucky's things. Like people like him a lot, but I just kind of zone out.
Yeah, I think I was like, oh, okay, this is the Bucky part.
Yeah.
Because I know before, like early on when Black Panther was first being talked about as a movie, a lot of people were just talking about Bucky. So I think I was just like already tired of Bucky being in Black Panther before I saw him. No, and it's like no bones against the character or whatever. I'm just neutral towards him in general, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's like the fans' mad love for him is like, yeah, he's a cool character, but okay.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
I don't really,
I know, man. Yeah.
I don't Shuri with him. Like, not even the age thing. It's just like he's not good enough. He's not good enough for her.
Yeah, like don't have my darling little girl have to be shackled with the broken man. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, she's a little kid. She's a teenager.
Well, where do you think that I'm not familiar with the Black Panther like lore very much, but what do you think is going to be the storyline for the next movie?
Oh, yeah, I guess it'll probably depend on how Infinity Wars goes down, but based on the ends there, I would think it's going to have to do more with the consequences of T'Challa opening up to the rest of the world, opening Wakanda up to the rest of the world. So the next villain I think that they're going to face is going to be probably another like outsider, but maybe someone who isn't Wakandan by blood. It'll just be like just like like another random person. I'm not up on Black Panther lore enough to know anyone in specific, just like a theme. I feel like it'll be maybe not someone who needs help so much, but like it'll be like someone taking advantage of Wakanda and somehow as an outsider, and then it'll kind of be like, is it worth the costs like that Wakanda has to deal with to help people when we have horrible people like this who really truly can hurt us in severe ways, not just like, oh, I stole a little vibranium, but like or depending on how things go in Infinity Wars, Wakanda could be in like really really bad shape. So Orange Kitty, why are you like this? Standing on my Chromebook. How about you, Lyra?
I swear I was listening, but what was the question again?
What the storyline for Black Panther 2 is going to be.
Oh, right. I was thinking while y'all were talking, I was thinking about some people's theories that it will be Nakia because, of that whole line Okoye said about who are you loyal to and like Nakia not answering. And then like that scene with the Korean lady when like there was some implication that like Nakia was a troublemaker.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really impressed, Nakia just saying, what did she say when she responded?
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, I guess there were little hints that Nakia could actually follow her comic arc. So there you go. I guess Storm's in. Nakia is Black Panther 2's bad guy lady.
Very cool.
Yeah. It would be cool to see Lupita play someone who's like
it would give her
quote unquote quote unquote.
I think it would be good.
Or an antagonist, I guess.
I'm sure I still wouldn't completely hate her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like I loved Killmonger and he's, the villain. So I'm sure with Lupita, I'll love her even more no matter what she does. And I loved all the lighting in the movie. Everyone looks so gorgeous.
Yeah.
The scenes were just so beautiful. It's like, oh god. Like my eyes were so happy. Like it was like everything was even. I think for as far as Marvel movies go, they all still look really good, but visually, to me, the best was Thor because of like Asgard and it's all like really fantastic setting and all that. But I still haven't seen the third Thor, but yeah, Black Panther like blew Thor out of the water in terms of just eye porn and gorgeousness. But I still haven't seen the third one, so I can't really compare.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Yeah, I don't think any other Marvel movies have that same kind of like setting that they can take advantage of to show like a lot of just absolutely gorgeous scenes, because a lot of it they're not really going for that, so I can't really knock them for not having eye porn for me, but that's okay. But yeah, Black Panther was just like beautifully cinematic in every way.
Yeah, you could really like believe in the world that they like created. Like, is so beautiful.
Yeah, it all felt so lived in, and like a real place that you could walk into and visit while simultaneously being fantastic. And I think that's actually kind of what it takes it a notch up from Asgard, because Asgard always just kind of felt like there was just I don't know, wherever their royal palace or whatever it was, it didn't like feel like a place that you could go to. And I guess it wasn't meant to. It's supposed to be God, like for the gods or whatever. So I guess Wakanda is not supposed to feel like a place that I could walk into, but whatever. But like Wakanda just felt like a real nation, like a real country with like real people living there. And so because of that, you could feel like the weight of the nation on the characters. Maybe that's part of why, not to go into my Thor criticisms, but why like the first two movies just had more potential than they lived up to. And now Black Panther decided like, well, let's show them how to make a movie about a guy who's like royalty. You gotta like, oh, this guy's like actually royally in charge of things. Well, look, it's kind of important to show the people he's in charge of. I don't know, maybe that's just the thing. Yeah. Yeah, and it was cool to have the scenes take place in, like, you had them in South Korea and then in Oakland, California. So it was fun that they showed them going to other parts of the world, and then you could feel that contrast directly in the movie, where that like all the places feel like really real, lived in places, and Wakanda still felt fantastic and like so technologically developed, but like you could feel like just like I can't remember, wherever they were in South Korea felt like a real place, and then Oakland felt like a real place. Wakanda felt like a real place too. It was just like a real fucking awesome place.
I was interested about like, okay, so Wakanda is hidden. But okay, so who are the people that are like, I guess they're like kind of like spies that are like hidden, that are like the outside, like kind of fake Wakandans? Who are they?
Oh, like you mean like the Wakandans who go out into the world and stuff? Like, who are they?
So like what? Okay, so yeah, Wakanda. So the actual like, this is difficult to explain. So like the actual like Wakanda that is known to the world.
Oh, so like, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think it's like it's actually like Wakandans' actual farmers are out beyond, beyond that, beyond the cloak. And so the actual functioning farms that make grow crops and have the animals and stuff.
It's like country folk and city folk for Wakanda.
Yeah, basically. So the rest of the world just sees the country folk.
Yeah.
And then and I guess don't like, the rest of the world doesn't like poke around Wakanda enough to like care where the king lives. So or maybe the kings have like their little place in the countryside that's like, it's actually just their summer home or something, or but they tell the rest of the world like, oh yes, this is my house.
Or maybe like no, yeah, the farmers and the farmer thing makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably explained directly in one of the 2 hours that was cut from the movie that they should put back in. But yeah, I think that's what it was, because like Killmonger approached the farmers, so I think that's like where he would know how to get to quote unquote Wakanda. Well, it's not quote unquote Wakanda; it's like actual Wakanda, but it's, you know, uncloaked Wakanda.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was funny to see him just like roll up to Wakanda. He's like, I've been looking for Wakanda my whole life, and then it didn't take him that long actually to find it. It was like, oh, I think you could have like done that at any point without killing anybody. You just gotta buy a plane ticket, dude. It's like, no, I gotta kill all these people. And then I gotta make sure I hunt down the one specific guy who stole vibranium from Wakanda. And I gotta drop his body up in front of all these farmers. Like, no, I'm pretty sure you could just have like walked up and then like shown your tattoo, and they'd be like, why isn't this guy in any of our systems? He's so extra. That's why he's a great. Well, he's an extra like Negan's extra. I was gonna say that's why he's a great villain. Like, then again, some villains who are extra aren't that great. He's the perfect amount.
Perfect.
I'm gonna be a Killmonger stan now. My new label.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I love how I've just spent so long being irritated at like so many villains. I'm like, I don't get why people like villains.
Yeah.
But that's not true. I have like villains in the past. Now all of a sudden I have like a bunch of villains. And I'm like, I love these guys. I'm just picky about my villains.
He's like the first villain that I've like kind of feel standing towards.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I love this scene when he first gets into the palace and he first speaks. How it's such a contrast to like the Wakandans. Like that's when you first get a realization of how different they are, like as people. Like, I'm in your house. You're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh shit, the scene when his death scene with the sunset was just like, God, it was so perfect. And then I don't think at any point he actually told T'Challa about his father telling him about, you know, the sunsets are so beautiful in Wakanda, but it's still like, it was such a, I mean, it's the type of moments that's happened before, but I think it was just so, with everything going on, it was just such a like beautiful moment. And then when T'Challa was still offering like that they could heal him, and and then the line like bury me with my ancestors in the ocean, like, oh my God, that hit hard.
Intro and such a good exit, like. I'm so ready to watch it again. I'm going to.
Yeah, it's like, and I think that Killmonger worked so well as a villain in that way because he had that kind of sympathetic story. He also had that like kind of sociopathic edge to him that made like, yeah, okay, this guy is a villain, but he has a lot of great points too, like about how oppressed Black people have been, like colonization and slavery and all this, and how Wakanda just stood back and like, hasn't done anything.
Like, where was Wakanda? Right.
Yeah. Like, so it's like,
where were you?
So it's like he took things so far as he'd go around and straight up would kill people just so that he could get his revenge, but that he also had a lot of justification besides his revenge for his father in his feelings towards Wakanda. So and the way he said at one point that he learned from his enemies, and then T'Challa learns from his enemies too, just in a different way. Like T'Challa learns to become a better person and a better king, but Killmonger learned from his enemies. He learned better ways to be like his enemies in order to kill them, and be actually more like them in their like the worst kind of way. like where Killmonger wanted to, instead of righting a wrong in the world, to just kind of switch things so that he's on top.
Mm.
Oh, you gonna give me some?
Yeah, a lot of people have been pointing out that like
You have to.
Nakia and Killmonger, they had like sort of the same motives.
I want.
Wait, what was
both,
that?
like,
I want a drink and fries.
sorry. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry, but talking to
I'll pay that.
sorry. There you go ahead. You can go.
Wait, what are y'all? Wait, what are we on?
No, whatever. What you guys were gonna say?
Oh, um,
There's something about Killmonger and Nakia.
Okay. Nakia and Killmonger, they both had like the same kind of like.
Oh yeah, they did. Except
Yeah.
that's something I thought about, like when I was typing my thing, but I never got into it when I was typing my Tumblr post. Like Nakia and Killmonger had the same idea, just that they had different ways of going about it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, they were both focused. Well, not focused. Okay, I think Nakia was focused on helping other people, and then Killmonger was he brought up that.
He had a militant stance about it. Like to help others, they have to like be armed, fight for it, and kill for it. And like she was just like, we just have to like help those that need it. Like,
yeah, I think Nakia was more focused on helping
like refugees.
a broader sense, like refugees. But she was also like going and fighting people and freeing other people in a way, just not in a like let's hand them guns kind of way.
Right, because like yeah.
Yeah, like there was that little kid at the beginning, the first scene she was in when they took out all of the I guess they were human traffickers, and then amongst them was a child soldier, and then she stopped T'Challa from like punching him or killing him or whatever he was about to do. I was like, he's just a boy. He was kidnapped too. So there was like a kind of compassion there that she had or has.
I loved the kids at the end when they saw the spaceship. I'm gonna take this home.
And then the one little kid that at the end that like turned and looked at T'Challa and was like, "Who are you?" And then he just smiles and it cuts out. We keep doing that. Actually, that's in the like the pre-post credit scenes or whatever when he talked to the world. It was like I was always waiting for him to have his like I am Iron Man moment, and they just keep cutting after his little smile. I'm like, yeah, let me see what he does.
Do like a backflip.
That was cool. It was so cool that I was in Oakland. I'm still not over it. It was just really cool that was in Oakland.
Yeah, I was like, Kat gave me kettle corn from this exact area. On the box.
You've physically eaten elements that are from a city that the Black Panther touched down in. The first Wakandan outreach will be in Oakland. We're right next to Pete's kettle corn.
What was your audience like reaction after the whole movie was said and done?
Everybody clapped and was very happy.
Yeah, same for me too. It was so nice. Just so many people were like so proud. I guess like a feeling of like everybody was so proud, and there were like young kids there with like little tiny Black Panther action figures and things like that. So it was like, yeah. Yeah, it was a good moment.
Yeah.
I just saw it like earlier today. I saw it on Thursday night, and then I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow.
Yeah. What time are you going to see it tomorrow?
I'm gonna go see it 7:00 tomorrow.
Ooh, so I can text you too.
I'm a stickler for like.
You can cut your phone off.
Yeah, I cut my phone off all the way. I mean, if I'm in the back though, I might go in the. It depends on where I'm at. Every time I've gone, I've been like super close up to the screen because I don't get there in enough time.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can get to the middle and not have to strain my neck.
Yeah, we sat in the very back row because those were like the only seats with two available. I was like, we kept looking for something like, nope, okay, there's one, nope, okay. Well, there's two all the way in the back because that's where we're sitting.
Yeah.
I want to try and go again sometime this week, and I'll just have to see where my schedule's at. Cause I got a bunch of stuff I gotta do around the house too. But I already have plans to see it again the first weekend in March. So.
And
I
really wanted to take it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and I have to beat my Iron Man 3 record because that's currently the movie I've seen the most times in the theater, and I can't let this stand anymore. I'm so mad at Tony.
How many times did you say?
I saw it 3 times. Yeah.
I really wanted to take advantage of the opening weekend because I don't know, it's really cool to be around like people. I mean, like I guess like after the opening weekend, it gets like less enthusiastic. I really wanted to take advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know, this weekend.
Yeah, the premiere weekends when people are just the most excited, and then after that, you're gonna have either people who are just like, who are less excited about the movie in general, or there's people who've already seen it like 5,000 times. So
yeah,
it's just like a different kind of hype.
Yeah, I should have like asked somewhere like if I could give a ticket away because I literally gave a ticket away. I bought a ticket today, but I was in Black Panther when my ticket like expired in another city. I was supposed to go to another city and watch it with my friends today, but I didn't cancel that ticket. But I was watching Black Panther when I was supposed to cancel that ticket. Oops. So technically I've seen it 4 times, or I have purchased 4 tickets to see Black Panther.
Show your support.
Yeah, I just let it rock.
Yeah. Well, I've technically bought 0 tickets for it because my friend bought our ticket.
That's your ticket. That one in like Suffolk, Virginia. That's your ticket. That belongs to you.
Okay. Yes. Just we'll say I bought that even though I still didn't buy it.
Okay.
I'll buy at least one. I have all these other prepaid tickets though, so I'm like, maybe I'll use this. No, maybe I'll use real money just because it's that damn special.
That's what it's doing.
Yeah, it was like I've been saving up these tickets. Like, no, I'm only gonna go to the movies when it's like really important. And now, a really important movie's in here. It's like, no, I'll use my real money.
Actual money. Did you guys talk about Mbaku?
Mbaku, yeah. He is hot.
Yeah. He's on my screen right now.
I'm so happy he ended up being like a major character.
Like, wow. So thick. Love it.
Yeah, because it's like I felt like when he came out and he was defeated, I was almost kind of wondering if it was just, if his purpose in the movie was just going to be kind of showing how T'Challa treats people that he fights or is in conflict with over the throne. Like, oh, this is a really cool character though. I'd love to see, you know, what the, I can't remember the name of the tribe or what this other tribe is like and stuff. And then he does come back and like, oh, he's a really cool character too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I was disappointed with like really any character, even like except for Wakabi, of course. But like I don't know, he was like, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of biased too because he like goes against like Denai's character, and I'm like, I'm usually no, no,
It's
possible. Don't pass
I wasn't that like I was annoyed during the movie when it happened, but I didn't hate him. But then after leaving the movie and thinking about it for a while, I was like, his character sucked. Like, the more I think about it, like the more I dislike him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like marinating. Like, okay.
I think the more I think about it, it's more like I'm just like I'm mad that you're the person they're going with.
Like, she's such a great character, and like he could have gotten her killed. Like it seemed like he didn't care. That was the problem. Like he didn't think about her at all when he, you know,
until she was like shoving a spear in his face, and then he was like, "Oh right." But it was a great scene though when he rode in on his rhino, and the rhino just stops, and then like Luke's okay.
People in the theater were like, "Wow,
that's awesome." Like, yeah, my favorite part was when you stopped fighting Okoye. Good job, dude.
He has so many chances to just be like.
I think we don't. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was like, I think we don't factor the fact that he was with Okoye, and then that's kind of something you have to factor into him. When you get rid of that, he's a cool character, but as soon as you put that in, I'm like, you're such a douchebag. Why would you go against Okoye at all?
Yeah.
If you're her love interest, then I want to see some romance from you. And I haven't seen anything. Did he even have a pet name for her? No. Like bare minimum. He's like, she's like calling him my love, and what did he call her? Huh?
He only said it when he was like, "Are you really gonna kill me?" Like,
yeah, that's the only time he like mentions her as like anything.
Yeah, so it better have been in those 2 hours I got cut. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He deserves better. I hope in the Black Panther 2 movie, I hope we see more of Ayo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That she's the one who really like drew people's attention to the Dora Milaje in the first place, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised she wasn't in that much.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because she put fucking Black Widow in her fucking place. Okay. No, I'm not mad at Black Widow. I'm just mad at fucking what's her face, ScarJo.
Yeah.
So, put fucking ScarJo in her fucking place. It was just perfect timing with that too, you know. ScarJo's fucking whitewashing ass, and then Avengers comes out and it was like, "Move or be moved." I'm like, "Thank you, I love you." I know you didn't do it for me, but I'm profiting right now.
Can I get into Okoye's red dress?
Yes.
Can we get
It
into
was
that?
so,
Yes.
it looked so
That's so
good.
it was so beautiful.
She threw the wig at that guy.
Like she couldn't wait to get it off of her head.
Is that maybe that's like inspired by Deny? She always thought it's a great wig. They take great care of it, but maybe at the end of the day, she really just wants to rip it off and throw it at somebody. Maybe she just mentioned to the script writers, "Hey, can you put in this part where Okoye just like rips off a wig and just rips off her wig and throws it at someone? Can you do that for me? Thanks."
My one note, I wish that the wig made like a sound. And like I get some like weird wacky sound effect when it hit the guy. That's what I wish.
That'd been awesome. Yeah. And the casino fights are always cool. The lighting in the casino fight was really awesome. All the red.
Thank you.
And small little cozy casino. And then how they were trying to avoid a gunfight or a shootout, and then there you go. Yeah. Fucking here comes trouble. Yeah, and then it kind of put in perspective, like Wakanda versus the world, because you had just there's just T'Challa and Nakia and Okoye, so you just have like just 3 people, very highly trained people, but just 3. And then just some random fucking arms dealers roll in. They're like 5,000 different guys, and so you have like the top of the country. You have the king, and then 2 Dora Milaje, and it's like a shit ton of just random fucking arms dealer, vastly outnumbering them. So it just kind of like puts in perspective how Wakanda is kind of vulnerable in that way. And why there's like those kind of concerns about inviting the rest of the world in, because the rest of the world is really big.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a zombies versus people problem, where yes, people, aka Wakandans, are better off and more technologically advanced, but there are more zombies.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Come alive, come alive. Do it again, and it burns so bright. Do it again.
I guess you did musical moment.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you guys have a favorite musical moment?
And do we have a favorite what?
Musical moment.
Musical.
Oh, like from the soundtrack.
Yeah.
The car scene.
Yeah.
I actually like the part where Black Panther. What?
Just suddenly got all up in. Okay, go ahead.
I like when Black Panther and meant his enemy. Yeah, Killmonger. I always want to call him manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
But when Black Panther and Killmonger are fighting and they fall down into the vibranium, I like when there's no music and you can just hear like the sound effects.
Yeah.
That's my sister.
Hey.
Is that how my baby?
Yeah.
Hi. Bye, everybody. Eat my food. I actually didn't bring the notes, so I just got a order.
I heard you like Amber.
She's left. Squizzy.
Oh.
Yes. You should say I heard you like Amber.
Oh yeah, I do. Why?
I don't think they heard you.
Oh yeah, I do.
Bye.
I'm sorry.
I thought they wanted to have a conversation. I was gonna say she uploaded a video today, so.
Yeah.
Oh, the podcast.
Yeah.
You can hear it as well. I'm glad that I'm speaking so well and eloquently.
Sorry about that. Don't go on now, guys.
That scene with the final fight scene with T'Challa and Killmonger in the vibranium tracks was pretty tight. It went in with the vibranium suits, like all kind of like phasing in and out. That was just a really cool effect.
I like oh, are you saying about to say something else?
Mm-hmm. And I was just saying it was a cool way to kind of introduce like the type of vulnerability that could have killed either one of them, though. Like it didn't feel like too hammy or anything. Like, oh, this is just here for convenience or out of nowhere or something. Like if it made, I mean, it was pretty crazy that they happened to land on a track, but when it's such an open space. But it's like, oh, it's kind of cool that they like introduced the idea about the vulnerability with the vibranium having to be shut down because it has to be transported or whatever. Earlier, when Shuri was just having that one moment to explain to Martin Freeman or whoever stuff, and then he kind of visited again with the T'Challa and Warmonger fight. Although I think if there's any scene that I didn't particularly like was when Shuri was talking to Martin Freeman about that, just because it was like we'd seen Wakanda and we were familiar with it, and then all of a sudden it felt like we had to like back up and like have the American dude. We gotta like explain things for the American dude and show things through his eyes. Like, oh, okay, I guess this has to be here. It's like felt like we had to see Wakanda again through that character's eyes in that shot. So it felt like we had been, as an audience members, seeing things through different eyes, and all of a sudden, like, this is going to be our perspective character, Mr. Freeman.
But I think it was funny how like they addressed it. Like Shuri was so like irritated and annoyed with like Martin Freeman's character, so it kind of like turned it on its head a little bit. Like this is our character that's like kind of an outsider, but she's very annoyed.
Yeah, I guess it does kind of had like that reverse of expectations. Like I think from one of the teaser trailers, they just showed it was Martin Freeman and Claw talking about Wakanda, and so that trailer used, you know, the two white guys to like introduce you to the idea of Black Panther, and that kind of gave the impression that, oh, maybe that's how the movie's going to be. It's like we're going to start with the white guys and be like, oh my god, Wakanda, it's different and stuff. So I was happy that that's not how the movie actually was, but then when we get to the scene where it's like, oh, I guess we're supposed to like maybe we really weren't supposed to be seeing things through the dumb white guy's eyes, and since we've been seeing things through, you know, T'Challa and all the other Wakandan characters' eyes, maybe it was really supposed to be a moment where we're supposed to be like with Shuri and be like, oh, this dumb white boy. I'm still like in default mode, like, right, we're supposed to see things through the white guy's eyes, everybody. So yeah, I guess when you look at it through like Shuri just being irritated with this dumbass white boys stuff, it's like a better scene. Instead of being, okay, all of a sudden let's go be Martin Freeman. And then when she called him colonizer, like
yeah, that was the biggest laugh in my the second watch.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and I was remembering the Alpha Comic Book Club review from the only person who had seen the movie out of those three when it aired. How she said, like, as as a white person, she was, she would have understood if the movie had been more aggressive towards white people, but she wouldn't. She felt like that the movie hadn't been that it had been really like celebratory of blackness, and there were a few jokes at white people's expense. So like, I'm wondering how these jokes at white people's expense go if she felt like it wasn't too aggressive towards white people. I can see, yeah, with the like just like the colonizer and stuff like that, how it's like, okay, I guess white people will feel comfortable with Black Panther because,
Yeah.
well, I mean, some of them that aren't, the literal devil. The ones with the sense of the humors might be okay. But yeah, it felt like white people and their oppression in history was obviously part of the world around them that they were in, and that's part of, I mean, that's on a meta level what part of what inspired Wakanda in the first place, and the whole colonization. And this is, a place where that didn't happen. But for the most part, it felt like the movie was really, it was T'Challa versus Killmonger. So it was like, it wasn't really, the enemy wasn't white people or directly, it was a kind of a conflict where the white people were kind of just irrelevant things. they were just like part of the setting instead of the real focus. Or maybe it was like they were abstractly the enemy, and the real question was like the world at large, which doesn't only include white people, because I mean they spent like every time they went out of Wakanda, they actually went to like South Korea and like Oakland, and you didn't see any white people in the Oakland scenes. All the white people were in South Korea, and they were a bunch of gun people. Oh, and Bucky at the end, I guess. Yeah, it felt more like a movie that was like a conversation within within the Black community, because Killmonger is the antagonist, and then T'Challa as the hero, and then it was like, yeah, it didn't have to be Black Panther versus white people or something. Like the white people were just so irrelevant. It was really just, it was kind of awesome in that way.
Are you drinking something? Are you drinking something?
Me?
Yeah. Or McKay. Forever.
Yeah.
Is somebody drinking something?
I was drinking something like way earlier. It's this sleep stuff to help me sleep. I have to drink it early so that it starts to work.
I need to drink something. Oh.
Yeah, I'm supposed to drink it like an hour, half an hour or something before you go to bed.
Is it a tea?
No, I usually do drink tea, but this is like, it's called Som Sleep, and it's just some kind of beverage. It comes out of a can. Tastes pretty good. Huh?
You said thong.
It's not. No, it's not a thong. It's some kind of thing.
Oh, I thought you said it's a thong drink.
No, it's some kind of beverage. It's called it's Som Sleep, like SOM, Som Sleep. Like it looks like an energy drink, but it's the opposite of that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, my goddad gave it to me over the weekend to try it out. Since I have them sleep issues. Yeah. Anything else on the movie and not my sleep issues?
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all going to see it again. Oh.
I feel like the final numbers for this movie is going to be crazy.
Probably.
Like how much it makes.
I meant to bring my Michonne pop so that she could see Deny be awesome. I was so excited that as soon as I got home, I just shower, put my clothes on, went to the theater. Forgot to bring Michonne with me. But she'll see it some other time.
Yeah. I was able to snag an Okoye pop.
Oh shit, we were supposed to get posters. Fuck, I forgot.
The Fandango posters. Did you get it for Fandango?
Yeah, that was part of the thing. Like, oh, if you order through Fandango, you get a free poster. But I was so excited about the movie. I just didn't even remember that.
Yeah, you might still be able to do it. You're supposed to get it shipped to you.
No. Oh, it gets shipped to you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But it's not really free. It's like $6 shipping and handling.
Oh, the quote unquote free.
Well,
I guess it'll be free for me because my friend bought the tickets. Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, look into it.
I'll put it.
There might still be hope.
Yeah, I'll put it next to my Eclipse poster. So I'm just gonna be having a wall of Deny projects.
I thought you meant Twilight Eclipse.
Oh no!
I was like, oh, I didn't know you were. That's why hard.
No. See, my Twilight phase was I was one of the people that hated Twilight. That was my thing.
Okay. Yeah.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
We made Twilight parody movies though. Me and my friends. It was awesome.
I should have hated Twilight.
So
I should have.
Everyone should have, but I was ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you were ahead. You were forward thinking.
Although, I played innovative. In those parodies. I played Edward, and then one of my friends said, "You make a great Edward." And I was like, "I'm not quite sure if this is a compliment." Apparently, I had the great vampiric constipated brood face down really good though.
Okay.
And I can have fake abs, I guess, that sparkle in the sun. Spray on abs. Sparkle. Throw some glitter on me. I'm Edward Cullen. Yes, the Black Panther. we're all gonna see it again. I guess we can call that the end of the podcast.
Yes.
And we'll have another one though, probably next Sunday. And since there'll be more heads up, hopefully we'll have even more people on to gush about Black Panther. And yeah. Or maybe you'll just hear more about my sleep issues. So I guess we can all sign off. Bye. I'm the last big cat. Watch me complain about The Walking Dead on tellittothedead.com.
I'm Trevor Michonne. Also watch me feel indifferent now toward The Walking Dead on tellittothedead.com.
I'm Lara Burse, signing off. I don't know if I'll be part of the podcast for The Walking Dead because that show is dead to me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Bye.